Neymar's career is a whirlwind of triumphs and setbacks, brilliance and frustration, a saga that goes far beyond the headlines. Despite being Brazil's all-time leading scorer and a global icon, his journey has been riddled with obstacles that have kept him from reaching the untouchable heights his talent once promised. This video dives into the complicated, often turbulent story of Neymar, a story that shows how sheer skill isn't always enough in the unpredictable world of modern football. Let's break down the chapters of his career and explore why Neymar is a player whose potential feels as unfulfilled as it is impressive. Neymar was not just a young talent, he was a revelation. Rising through the ranks at Santos FC, he displayed a style and flair that hadn't been seen in years. His raw skill, lightning-fast feet, unteachable instinct, and daring creativity made him an instant sensation. He wasn't just playing football, he was performing, each move more outrageous than the last. At just 19, Neymar led Santos to victory in the Copa Libertadores in 2011, something no Brazilian club had achieved since Pelé's era. His swagger, his eye for the spectacular, and his audacious dribbles drew comparisons to the greatest of the greats, with fans and pundits alike claiming he was the next in line to Brazil's football throne. His incredible rise earned him international attention, and a move to Europe was inevitable. In 2013, Neymar joined FC Barcelona, joining Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez to create one of the most deadly trios the game has ever seen. Known as MSN, their chemistry was lethal. Together, they ripped defenses apart, brought Barcelona a treble in 2015, and solidified Neymar as one of the most exciting players on the planet. During his time at Barcelona, Neymar was electric, a true force in the MSN trio that struck fear into defenses across Europe. Alongside Messi and Suarez, he played with a chemistry that felt almost telepathic, each of them understanding the other's movements perfectly. Neymar's incredible footwork, sharp passes, and deadly finishing made him an invaluable piece of the attack. His dribbling was mesmerizing, weaving through defenders as if they weren't even there. The 2014 to 2015 season, when Barcelona achieved the treble, showcased Neymar at his absolute best, proving to fans and critics alike that he was more than ready to carry the torch from Messi. At that time, many believed Neymar was the natural successor to Messi, while Gareth Bale was considered the heir to Cristiano Ronaldo. The football world seemed divided into these two next big things, each representing the future of their clubs. Neymar's performances in the Champions League, particularly in the knockout stages, solidified his status as a superstar. He had a knack for showing up in critical moments, scoring and assisting with ease. While Messi was the established legend, Neymar's explosive growth suggested he might one day take over the throne. However, the desire to prove himself as more than just Messi's sidekick drove him to seek a fresh challenge. This ambition led him to Paris Saint-Germain, where he hoped to carve out a legacy independent of Messi and establish himself as the main man. Yet, with this newfound role came unforeseen challenges and pressures that began to test Neymar in ways even he hadn't anticipated. When Neymar arrived at PSG, he wasn't just a footballer, he was a sensation. PSG made him the most expensive player in history, paying €222 million to bring him to Paris, and the expectations were nothing short of astronomical. In the first months, he lived up to the hype, combining with Edinson Cavani to create a formidable front line that terrorized defenses in Ligue 1 and in Europe. Neymar seemed to thrive in the French capital, delivering goals, assists, and jaw-dropping performances. However, his brilliance on the field would be continuously interrupted by physical and mental strains. His time at PSG quickly turned turbulent. Injuries began to plague his career at critical moments, sidelining him for Champions League knockout matches that PSG desperately needed him in. Off the pitch, controversies brewed. From altercations with teammates to his on-field theatrics, Neymar's commitment was questioned. Transfer rumors continually swirled, with reports of his desire to return to Barcelona, casting a shadow over his dedication to PSG's cause. The PSG years exposed Neymar to challenges he hadn't faced before. The shift from La Liga to Ligue 1 seemed like it would be a simpler journey, but the expectations of carrying PSG to Champions League glory weighed heavily. His injuries and distractions meant he could only give his best in spurts. While Neymar continued to show flashes of his genius, his impact was inconsistent, and as PSG faced repeated European failures, the pressure on him grew more intense. Was he worth the record-breaking fee, or was PSG's investment proving to be a costly gamble? For Neymar, playing for Brazil has always been about more than just football. It's about pride, history, and proving himself worthy of a lineage that includes Pelé, Zico, Romario, and Ronaldo. With the Brazilian national team, Neymar became their hero, shouldering the hopes of a football-obsessed nation. He brought Brazil its first Olympic gold in 2016, finally capturing a title that had eluded the Selecao for decades. On the international stage, he often looked like the Neymar everyone hoped he would be, unstoppable, unyielding, and deeply committed. Yet, his international career has been filled filled with heartbreak as well as glory. At the 2014 World Cup, Neymar suffered a back injury that took him out of the tournament before Brazil's disastrous to Germany. His absence was keenly felt, and the nation's devastation only added to the weight on his shoulders. At the 2018 World Cup, Neymar's theatrics overshadowed his performance, sparking global criticism and ridicule. Despite his undeniable contributions, he became a polarizing figure, both loved and criticized for his actions on and off the field. Through it all, Neymar managed to break records, surpassing Pelé to become Brazil's all-time top scorer. But even as he reaches these milestones, there's a sense that his career with the Selecao is a bittersweet one, full of incredible highs but also missed chances and what-ifs. It's as if his story with Brazil is one of incomplete promise. If this exploration into Neymar's complex career has you intrigued, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights into the world's biggest football stars. Neymar's recent years have been marked by a series of setbacks that have cast a shadow over his illustrious career. After his tenure with Paris Saint-Germain, he made a high-profile move to Al-Hilal in Saudi Arabia in August 2023, aiming to rejuvenate his career and bring his flair to a new audience. However, the transition has been anything but smooth. In October 2023, while on international duty with Brazil, Neymar suffered a severe knee injury, rupturing his anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, and meniscus in his left knee. This injury sidelined him for nearly a year, raising concerns about his long-term fitness and ability to return to top form. The football world watched as he embarked on a rigorous rehabilitation process, hoping for a triumphant comeback. In November 2024, Neymar made his much-anticipated return to the pitch with Al-Hilal. However, his comeback was short-lived. During a match in the AFC Champions League Elite, he suffered a hamstring injury just minutes after coming on as a substitute, forcing him off the field once again. This latest setback has intensified speculation about his future in professional football, with reports suggesting that Al-Hilal is considering terminating his contract due to his recurring injuries and limited availability. The financial and emotional toll of Neymar's absences has been significant for Al-Hilal. The club invested heavily in securing his services, with the expectation that he would lead them to domestic and continental success. However, his unreliability during crucial moments has placed the club in a difficult position. Fans are frustrated, management is disappointed, and there is a growing sense that Neymar's time in Saudi Arabia might be coming to an end. Neymar's career reflects the complexities of modern fame in football. A player who, while breathtakingly talented, became as much a product of the media era as of the sport itself. In the age of social media, he is one of the first true internet-era football icons. A player who built a brand as meticulously as he built his goal tally. From Instagram to TikTok, Neymar's off-pitch life has been as visible as his on-field skills. He has millions of followers who engage with his lifestyle, fashion choices, and even his recovery processes. This unprecedented level of visibility has brought both adoration and scrutiny, as fans feel closer to him than they ever did to stars like Pelé or Maradona, yet often demand more in return. However, his life in the spotlight also exposed him to harsh criticism. The constant media attention meant every injury, every on-field fall, and every off-field controversy was amplified. When he moved to PSG in 2017, his world record transfer fee made him a poster child for a new era of hyper-commercialized football. Critics argue that his vast influence on social media often overshadowed his achievements in the game itself. Every stumble, every missed match, every failed Champions League campaign became not just setbacks but talking points, magnified by millions of viewers who had become accustomed to seeing Neymar's life unfold online. This double-edged sword of fame has shaped his career as much as his talent has. In the end, Neymar's legacy is complicated. He will be remembered as one of Brazil's greatest talents since Ronaldinho, yet also as a player whose career was as much about what could have been as what was. He has achieved incredible heights, including becoming Brazil's all-time leading scorer, but the repeated injuries and the relentless pressure of social media fame have weighed heavily on his career. For every dazzling dribble and every record he's broken, there are questions about whether he reached the heights that his talent once promised. Neymar is, ultimately, a player of his time, incredibly gifted, globally adored, yet burdened by the pressures and pitfalls of being a star in the digital age. His story is both a cautionary tale and a celebration, a reminder of the thin line between football legend and fleeting icon.